From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on Lalate.
It's a big midday here on Lalate with incredible great details about your fourth stimulus check update 2021. In today's recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more monthly checks. Then we cut to the recon, a done deal. The president has set in place $3.5 trillion of checks, application-based generally, to get you under the fourth stimulus recon. Basically progressive checks. In the second half of this video, we'll go over all this incredible sums of money. Then we go over the voting process that's hitting in just a few days. The recon's going to get passed with $3.5 trillion of checks, and if you're a Purple Hawk, you're going to pounce and get that big sum of money. Then we go into the final 15 minutes of this video with a lot of breaking news surfing across the board. No time to be a donut girl or guy because the president is dedicating a lot of money for you in this fourth stimulus recon and fifth stimulus. Then we turn to the big money across the board that viewers continue to get, and this is the big sums of money you should be getting as well. The surf is up, I'm here, you're here, as the new Lalate noontime heats up, starting right here, right now, as we heat up direct and live from your own Santa Monica, California, starting right now. Hey, good noontime, everybody, and hope you're having a beautiful day across the board. While you saw beautiful ocean settings across that sea and across the opening credits, it's raining here in Southern California. It's actually raining here in Santa Monica. That's why we had an outage during Mornings LA during the live stream, and that's hence why there were two Mornings LA shows, because I record on the back end. I was able to give you a recorded version of the extended broadcast. But how are you? Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from this beautiful morning, this beautiful noontime, as we debut the new noontime LA. I'm excited for you to join us. In this recording, we'll go over so much across the board. Are you ready for the deliciousness? Here we go. In the fourth stimulus recon, the president's dedicated $3.5 trillion of checks coming to you. These are guaranteed. I'm going to go over why, if you're an application-based person and been watching this channel since day one as a Purple Hawk, you're going to pounce. Then we're going to go over the push to get the traditional stimulus check in there as well. I'll be going over all the different nuances of what's heating up. Then we'll cut to fifth stimulus as well, and that is the raise of your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. Then we'll cut to the big money that viewers continue to get, and they're surfing into the finish line for all this incredible great news. We'll have all this details and more as we heat up a live broadcast direct from Santa Monica, and this is the new Lalate. How are you? Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member for the best darn channel there is, getting better by the minute, starting right today. So with this, let's go over those monthly stimulus checks. There's new indication today that reveals that there's a lot more senators and a lot more House members who want to give you those stimulus checks. Let's start with the traditional stimulus check. That stimulus check is House versus Senate, and we're going to go a little bit more into the depth of this starting right now, because there's actually a lot more people who want to give this to you. So who are these other people? Let's go to the Senate. Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and others, senators, have written the president a letter saying they want you to have multiple monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. That new letter details the push by Democratic senators, mostly progressives, asking the president to provide for monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. They don't give a price tag, however, in their detail. Then what you've seen a lot coverage on this channel over the last few weeks has been the House bill. Jalapal, author, and others. $1,000 a month after the first month, $2,000. This is pandemic plus 1 year. Well, you heard the breaking news, and you heard it first this morning, as the CDC announces that the vaccine boost has now been approved. And in fact, I had been discussing this with the pharmacists last Friday. We both thought it was coming within minutes, and we were right. So the vaccine boost has now been approved. It's in September, 8 weeks from your last from your second dose. And so if it's been 8 weeks, which for some of you, it will not be by September. For me, it's October because I got mine early in February. Then that means you're ready to get the boost. That means this pandemic is not over. Pandemic plus 1 year, the House bill would provide you more than 12 checks, which would be more than $13,000. Then we have the House members also writing the president a letter. We have an AOC and Omar writing the president a letter compared to what I just went over a second ago, which is actually a bill, asking and demanding $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. So here it's monthly, and here they give a dollar figure, $2,000. Then we also now have the House Ways and Means members, which I've detailed in before on this channel. They ask for monthly, fourth, and fifth for an amount unknown and a reoccurrence we don't know. Again, House Ways and Means doesn't give us amount, but at least for fourth they say it's monthly. And then we have the petition growing across the country. 2.8 million Americans have signed the American petition, and they're asking for $2,000 monthly reoccurring. There you go. That is fourth stimulus check. Now, in addition to the fourth stimulus check, the fourth stimulus recon has $3.5 trillion of checks for you. What's important to know is that we have two separate things at issue in the recon. The recon one is going to pass. It's going to pass the $3.5 trillion, and it's confirmed with $3.5 trillion of checks for you, application base. The push is underway in addition to that to get stimulus checks in there. So you're getting checks under the recon, $3.5 trillion. That's a done deal. If you've been with me since day one of this channel, I have done a lot of application-based stuff. In fact, most of the money under first, second, and third stimulus have always been application-based. PEBT, EIDL, PPP, PUA, they were all application-based. And so the push is underway to get a stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package, in addition to the confirmed checks that you are getting under fourth stimulus recon as well. We're going to go over that in the second half of this video. Then we're going over the voting process, as the president has now set this in path, and the vote for the recon starts next week. I'll have all the details on why this is going to pass in just a blink of an eye. Then we turn to the big money across the board that viewers continue to get under fourth stimulus and propose under fourth stimulus, and we'll get under fifth stimulus. And then can we get some other sums of money? Yes, let's get some big sums of money starting right now with rent, utilities, food, and internet. Get a pen and paper ready. I'm going to get you all that big sums of money right now. Well, here we go. When I was recording videos a few weeks ago, I said I can get you $5,000 of rent, 4 to 6 months of rent, and now viewers are cashing in with a lot more money. How much money are they getting? Well, when I said $5,000 of rent, viewers are now getting a lot more. How much are they getting? How much are those Purple Hawks getting? Are you ready? Here we go. $27,000. Elizabeth, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Mark, $25,000 he got for rent. In fact, what Mark did was he went to his neighbor and said, watch that kid, that Lalate, he's the real deal. The neighbor went from $0 to $20,000 of rent approved in less than 5 days from watching my videos. Nancy, $24,000. Richard, $22,000 for rent. Look at these numbers. They're all over $20,000. Nisi, $20,000. If you have a success story for rent, utilities, food, or internet, send it to me on social media, private message, and I'll feature it tonight on Edie's Lalate. I have about 5 new success stories I'm debuting tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, a new show coming up tonight. And here are some of the more recent success stories in the last few days. Pamela tells me she got $12,000 for rent. Carla got utilities and also SNAP. Tiffany reports she got $13,000 for rent and SNAP and utilities. Randy tells me he got $6,000 for rent and $2,000 for utilities. Jennifer reports to me that she got $5,000 from watching this channel and lights and SNAP. And Cecilia tells me she got $1,200 for heap. That's a heap of heap. Well, how much other utilities are people getting? You ready? Wow, deliciousness. $7,000 for utilities Nancy got. There's Nancy again. Mark, another one. He got a second item, $6,500 for utilities, and Angela, $5,000 for utilities. Well, how about SNAP? SNAP is money for food. And how much are people getting for SNAP? Not a couple $100 annualized. This is an annualized number. You ready? Bam. Wow. Louis getting $18,000 for SNAP. Incredible. $10,000 for John. $10,000 to $12,000. And Nancy, there she is with 3 items. So Nancy is a Triple Crown winner. Do we have another Triple Crown winner? Viewers who got 3 items on this channel? Let's see. Here we go. Whoa. Nancy getting $32,000 for rent, utilities, food, and internet. Nisi getting 3 items at $23,000. Great job. And Mark in there with $32,000 and 2 items. 2 items? Wow, Mark, how did you get on the graphic? That graphic's for getting 3 items. I'll tell you what happened with Mark. Mark got 2 items at 32,000. I said, Mark, why didn't you get Snap? Snap is a snap. That's why they call it Snap. It's a snap to get. So for 7 days or 5 days of recording, I said, Mark, I'll get that Snap. By the end of the week, Mark got Snap. How much in Snap do you think Mark got annualized? A couple $100? A couple $1,000? No. Mark got lots of money and lots of Snap. How much did he get? Here you go. Mark got $19,000 as a viewer of this channel, bringing his grand total of $50,500 before the breaking news delivered this Monday morning. And I'll show you why Mark actually got more money and how you're going to get more money as well. And this is Lalate. We've been doing this since day one, getting big sums of money, and today is just another day for you to get these big sums of money. I launched this channel on day one in April to get people EIDL loans and grants whose applications were stalled. So I did their applications on air, off air. Got 15 applications a day approved at some point at $150,000 pop, $25 million of EIDL loans approved across the board. And then in fall of 2020, second stimulus checks are not coming. So I said, you need to pound to get the big sums of money that are elsewhere available. Viewers got $250,000 from watching my videos for rent. And Tyrone and his family of 4 out of Boston getting $16,000 of rent, paying all their rent to the spring. But now you, Purple Hawks, are getting numbers that we have never seen before on this channel. Why? Because you've learned as a Purple Hawk to pounce. I said as soon as third stimulus passed that there's a lot more money than a $1,400 stimulus check. You shouldn't be holding your donut, no matter how attractive you look, even holding 2 donuts and even, purple donuts. You should pounce as a Purple Hawk and get the big sums of money under third stimulus. And you have. And now we see that the numbers are coming in even bigger than before. I introduce you to the biggest payout we have ever seen in this channel. And here you go. It's Lorraine. Congratulations, Lorraine, getting $105,000 from this channel for rent, utilities, and food. That is a true embodiment of a Purple Hawk, member of the Purple Power community. Get that pen and paper ready, because today is your day to be the next Lorraine. We're going to get some money together right now. We're going to get some rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage assistance, and more. Here's some introductory comments. Number 1. I want you to listen to the 6 places I show you where to get the money. So don't reach out to one and stop. Don't say I reached out to my city, couldn't find it. Stop. You need to reach out to all 6. Number 2, understand that there's money in every state. Every state has money. Number 3, each place has different eligibility. So if the city says no, don't stop, because the county may say yes. Next, don't insert your own eligibility criterion, because it's simply not true. I make too much money. On the Mornings LA show, just right before this, a very nice viewer said, I'm on disability. I get $68,000 a year. I don't qualify for anything. Not true. Not true. In fact, one viewer will jump in the live chat and said, I get more than that in disability, and I'm getting 1 or 2 items. So not true. You need to apply. All right, you ready? Get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. Here are the 6 places you're going to apply to. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. The keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Mitch's wonderful lobster recipe. Oh, they don't want to know that. No one wants to know that. Not even Mitch wants to know that. And there you go. If you got money for rent or utilities, post in the live chat right now. Let's turn to some Snap. Snap is deliciousness. Snap is money for food. How do you get it? It's a Snap from Department of Agriculture. A family of 4 gets a lot, and guess what? Mark got $19,000. Louis got $10,000 to $12,000. Lynn Glenn got money for herself, her son, and mom, and Gail got as well. How much does it pay? Family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Whoa, why so much money? Because of 2 executive orders. And here's the breaking news. If you were tuning in on Monday on LA, you heard it here before anyone else. The minute it broke, I was live on air and I delivered to you the breaking news. Everyone's Snap benefits are increasing 20 up to average of 25% lifetime starting in October. Oh, yes. You notice how I paused my words there? I was about to say up to 25%. It's not up to 25. You may be actually more than 25%. It's an average of 25% starting in October. Here's the key things about it. Number one, there was 2 executive orders from Biden and Trump that raised everyone's benefits up 15% between January and September. That's ending under the federal government. It didn't end because of your state. It ended because the federal government, the executive orders ran out. Number two, the president himself called up SNAP and said, you know what? Or Department of Agriculture said, you know what, you're not paying enough. You need to give a lot more because the executive orders are running out. And that's what they did. They said, based upon cost of living and other things out there, we're raising your benefits up 25% average lifetime. Finally, in October, an automatic, so you don't have to do anything. And so for Mark, who got $18,000 for SNAP? Yes, Mark, you're going to be looking at upwards of about $25,000 annually for SNAP. So post your success story in the live chat if you got SNAP as well. Let's turn to the next part of the money, and we're only 15 minutes of this video. We're going to turn to that unemployment benefits coming back from your state due to overpayment and computer error. Contact your state, call them up and say, where is it? Because it's landing by direct deposit. And ask them if they can track it with a computer. Oh, sorry, sir, I will turn it on. I was outside grazing. Sirloin, is that you? Is that where you've been? We'll soon find out where Sirloin has really been. And then finally, we'll turn to the exciting, great details of the refund check coming back from IRS for that 2020 return. Margaret got it. Michael got it. It's a direct deposit or a mail check, and it's a waivable check. The average waive is $1,200 to $1,400 coming every week this summer. More about that in a second. But if you're in the live chat and you've not posted success stories for rent, utilities, and food, please do. Because the spirit of this channel is me helping you and you helping others. When you post your success story in the live chat, you really help other people because guess what? A lot of people never knew that this money was available for them. They never knew that certain items existed. For example, a lot of people never knew of utilities. They may have heard about rent being paid, or they may have never heard of the rent being paid at this amount of money. A lot of people stop at rent and forget, wait a second, the water, the electric, the heating oil, I didn't think to go get that. That piles up to be a lot of money. Then a lot of people never heard of SNAP till they found this channel. Larry Maui never heard of it, got $500 a month per person in Maui a lifetime because of watching this channel. So you inspire people. Number two, if you got 3 items, you were probably inspired by Nisi and Art Sullivan. They were the earliest to get 3 items. They inspired Nancy and then Mark and other people. And then you update us with incredible sums of money we're learning across the board. We're seeing that suddenly these monies are a lot more. Finally, let's cut back to those unemployment benefits. Where are they landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, 70% of the time you can. Go to irs.gov and do a transcript search, and it will reveal the taxes you paid and the tax return you filed, and 70% of the time it'll reveal stuff you really wish you had never seen. Like, what is the color code on Nancy's hairstyle? Is it muddled 1 and muddled 2? That's for Crayola. And can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update of starting right now, the recon deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the fourth stimulus recon. Let's go over the analysis of this starting right now. First, the recon's going to pass, and the recon's going to become law, and it's going to be $3.5 trillion. And there's going to be checks in there that are application-based. It's guaranteed. That's happening. But there's a push underway to get stimulus checks in there, the traditional stimulus check, which is automatic, where it just sort of lands your mailbox, in addition to these other checks. And so that's the sort of important thing you need to know. Guaranteed $3.5 trillion of checks come to the American people, and a push to underway to get stimulus checks in there in addition to that. This is why the Purple Hawks are going to do really well. So how did we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by the Democrats taking roads and bridges out of the recon and put into something called the bipartisan. And that bipartisan and recon are going to need to be passed at the same time because the president has said that. The higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, the roads and bridges, and put it into the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller, obviously. In other words, the recon and the bipartisan made each other passable. The recon goes to its next big vote in just a few days. I believe it's on Monday. And that recon procedure will pass. I mean, it's a done deal. I'll show you why starting right now. You're only going to hear this on this channel. The Democrats in both the Senate and the House met with the president daily before they started the whole voting process to say, this is the price tag we want on the recon. They've already agreed upon the price tag, so there's nothing to vote on. They've already agreed upon this. And that's why Representative Richie Torres and Ilhan Omar said, we want bigger and bolder numbers. We want big numbers. And they got it. Representative Richie Torres says we have to have a larger recon for our big stimulus checks across the board, 3.5 trillion, done deal. And Ilhan Omar, who was also on that earlier graphic asking for a stimulus check in addition to the application-based checks, said we need to have a recon that goes as far as we want it. You got it, Elon, 3.5 trillion. The president had told Jalapal, who again is the person who wrote the bill for those monthly stimulus checks, and also told also another progressive whose name is Brian Schatz to protect the recon, because everything in that most everything in that 3.5 trillion recon is checks for you, progressive checks. Quote, the White House considers the progressive checks in that recon its top priority as well. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? How do they pass a recon? How do they pass a bipartisan? What is the difference between recon procedural and recon substantive? You need to know this. Why? Because you can't be a donor person. Because the President of the United States has made very clear to us that he will only sign the recon if it comes also with the bipartisan. And so let's go over all the details of this starting right now. What is a recon? What is a bipartisan? Let's go over how this works out. So a recon and a bipartisan are different. A recon and a bipartisan are different. So we have three bills we got to do with two paths. Number one, we have to do recon. This is your money. Reconciliation, $3.5 trillion of checks, mostly application-based, with an additional push to get stimulus checks in there on top of that. And then we have bipartisan, not your money, roads and bridges. President says I have to have both bodies of law on my table. Recon is also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill. Bipartisan is also called the infrastructure. We have to do three bodies of law. We have to do recon procedural, which will be done this coming Monday, potentially, and recon substantive, and then recon bipartisan, and then we have to do bipartisan. So what is recon procedural and what is recon substantive? It's pretty simple across the board. So recon procedural is basically the framework. It basically says, what do you want this recon to look like? I want it at a $3.5 trillion price tag. Okay. And then which committees in the U.S. government get which sums of money? This one gets 10 and that one gets 20. Okay, done. The recon procedural goes for a vote on Monday, I believe is the day, in the House, and it's going to pass in 1 second. Again, why? Because they already agreed upon the price tag. They don't have to do this twice, but the formal signature is on Monday. This is how it passed so quickly in the Senate when I told you they had already agreed upon this in the Senate. So then recon substantive is really where the core is. How are they going to spend the money? Who's going to get the money, where they're going to spend it, and what duration, and everything across the board. So who writes the recon? Well, the recon is written by subcommittee members of the House, and they dedicate those pages together and send them up to Chuck Schumer. For example, House Subcommittee on Ways and Means writes stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. They combine them up, send them to Chuck. Let's say it's 10 subcommittees, 10 pages, and that's 100 pages. He puts a big S on it. But it may not be an S. It may be an H for Nancy's House. Because you can see later in this video that there's indication now that we may start on the House side. And I really prefer that for the recon substantive. How do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by different people saying the recon has to be big enough and bold enough for those application-based items. And people saying, in addition to that, we should have stimulus checks. Jalapal told Schumer to call the vote, and that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who recently wrote the president letter saying, we need monthly stimulus checks in there. Those House Ways and Means subcommittee members, the same one we went over, said that when we write the recon, remember they write the stimulus check part of it, they're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in there. And as they're writing the recon, everyone hears what everyone else is talking about. And this is what they're all talking about. While they're writing their recon to provide those $3.5 trillion of mostly application-based checks in there, everyone else is also saying, in addition, include stimulus checks. Warren, Sanders, Wyden on the Senate have asked for a stimulus check, monthly, reoccurring, amount unknown. We have the House bill, Jalapal, author, $1,000 a month after the first month of 2000, pandemic plus 1 year, which would be more than $13,000, more than 12 checks, saying pay a check, pay a stimulus check in addition to the application base. We have Omar and AOC writing the president saying we need monthly stimulus checks in here with a price tag of $2,000. We have that House Ways and Means Committee members, again, there they are again, asking for a fourth reoccurring, it actually says reoccurring, but without a dollar figure, and then a fifth single one, at least at the moment. And they're writing that to the president. And then we have the American petition, 2.8 million Americans saying, to get it done. So there you go. That is how we are seeing this recon unfold. Guaranteed $3.5 trillion of checks for the American people, mostly application-based, with a push to put stimulus checks in there on top of that. And the president has gotten something else done. What is this? The global minimum corporate tax rate. It was originally supposed to be in the recon. Now it's not in there. Thank goodness, because now it's easier to do the recon because this confusing thing is not in there. It's easy to call the vote on the recon or vote on the recon and pass the recon because this thing is not in there. Meantime, if you've been watching this video and you have not gotten at least rent, utilities, SNAP, or at least one item, please do. Why do I say the importance of getting at least one item as a Purple Hawk? Because SNAP is, for example, easy. Rent is not as hard. Utilities is very easy because you got a lot of utility companies. You may have 4 or 5 utilities companies. Mortgage assistance is one of the hardest. I'll admit that. But I want you to get at least one item because guess what? When you get one item, you have developed the skill set from watching this channel and learning from me of how to get these sums of money. When we have a fourth stimulus coming up in the second half of this video, the final 15 minutes, you're going to see that most of it is application-based, as the prior stimulus packages have all been generally application-based. Not a time to be a donut guy, a time to know how to apply. Pick up the phone, call, go to the internet, and reach out to them. Not just one place, not just your city and say, I'm done. If you get one item, you have achieved Purple Power skill sets. You are ready to pounce when fourth stimulus becomes law. And then if you can't get the other sums of money, if you can't get mortgage but you got SNAP, reach out to the volunteers. Where are they? They truly embody the Purple Power spirit. They're on the community page. Go down the description, click the link, it'll send you to the community page. It's news.lalate.com/community. Here's a little bit about them. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as the new noontime Lalate heats up. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the excitement continues right now from Santa Monica as big exciting details about your fourth stimulus heats up. We'll be going over the recon process, the push to get those stimulus checks in there, and how you can get big sums of money in this fourth stimulus package. We'll be cutting to fifth stimulus as well, the raise of your benefits up a lifetime. We'll be going over the voting process, and we'll be going over the big sums of money that you can get across the board in this big new noontime here on Lalate. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. I want you part of this incredible family as I have tropics behind me. There we go. And away we go. The President of the United States, when running for the highest office in the land, said he was going to provide you a new lift of benefits for SSI and SSDI. He has not yet done that. So now the Democrats are vowing to take care of this for you in what's called fifth stimulus. What's fifth stimulus? Well, fifth stimulus raises your benefits up starting in legislative process in September. They seek to raise your benefits up and apply new benchmarks. How does this work? Well, they start drafting in September and then applying it in November, they presume, for the benefit lift immediately, and then the benchmark in December for next year. Let's go over all the details. Step one, they'll raise your benefit limits up. Then they'll remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark. Then remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over who this applies for. It applies for you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Step one is they'll raise your benefits up. Step two is they'll apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark will be inflation, replacing COLA. It's going to be transitory. What does transitory mean? A temporary spike in December. How high is that spike going to go? It's going to go up a lot. I'm reporting it's going to go up at least 5% for that spike. So let's do the analysis. First, they raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply the new benchmark. And if the benchmark is 5%, you'll go up another 5%. Not just next year, a lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Then they're going to apply a new income cap dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. They're going to remove the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't work and you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. You'll be able to do a pair dance at your own wedding. No longer fear loss of benefits and have your benefits restored if they were canceled due to marriage. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married as well. And there you go. Meantime, you saw in this video that fifth stimulus will have a fifth stimulus check, says House Ways and Means Subcommittee. And finally, Purple Hawks. If you're in the live chat and you notice the people who are swirling with that delicious Purple Hawk emoji next to their name, why don't you have one? You need to get one to learn about all the big sums of money you can get under first, second, third, and fourth stimulus. Let's go over the details. Daily, I deliver to Purple Hawks via the YouTube community page a breakdown of all the big money that's available for you under first, second, third, and proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus. Because the biggest sums of money in these packages have been application-based. The $3.5 trillion package will be predominantly application-based in addition to the push for stimulus checks in there as well. You want to pounce and get this big sums of money. Here's an example. In spring of last year, I launched this channel when EIDL loans went live, and I helped people get those applications. They pounced. Initially, they're stalled. They got them approved. Then in fall of 2020, I said, don't be focused on a $600 stimulus check, because that's not going to cut it. You need to pounce to get this other sums of money. And that's how Tyrone and his family got $16,000 for rent from December to the spring. But when third stimulus passed, and it was a $1,400 stimulus check, I said, don't be focused on a $1,400 stimulus check. It'll come. But I said, there's a lot more money in there than $1,400 for you to get. The president is dedicated in that third stimulus package, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for you to get. And you need to pick up the phone and call and get it. And that is what's called application-based. That's how viewers are getting massive sums of money under third stimulus, because fourth stimulus will be application-based predominantly as well. That's how first, second, and third stimulus were additionally. So consider becoming a member, because guess what? When you get one item, you're going to be ready to pounce under fourth stimulus as well. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now. The recon, $3.5 trillion, is going to get passed on as early as Monday for the procedural step. It's going to pass because they've already agreed upon the price. It's a no-brainer. The recon procedural price of $3.5 trillion was agreed upon before they started the whole process. And why is this great news for you? Because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money and a lot of checks, mostly application-based. And mostly all viewers of this channel qualify. I said that under third stimulus. Some people thought, I don't know if I qualify. Oh, yeah, you qualified. Viewers getting massive sums of money across the board, whether it's $5, $10, $15, $20,000 under third stimulus. Well, fourth stimulus will be even easier. Why? Because fourth stimulus is a much bigger stimulus package. So while we don't have the actual bill yet, we have proposals of what is in this recon, and it's for you. including seniors and workers and everyone else. Free school meals for all, checks. Tax break, checks. Cheaper prescription medication, checks. Farming, checks. Then we have internet checks. Then we have lots of checks for workers, like independent contractors, like union checks, and lots of checks for seniors, including dental checks, vision checks, hearing care checks, and also checks for lowering eligibility age. I love the Purple Hawks. They've already been saying, I'm ready to get that vision, dental, and internet. Where do I apply? You do not want to have the same person doing your teeth who does your internet cable connection wiring. Can you wire my internet and also do a root canal? No, you don't want that. But yeah, there'll be different applications in different places. So now let's go over what they have to do, because this is going to be the easy step. The next step then will be the recon substantive. Once they've agreed to that price tag as early as Monday, then we're off to do the recon substantive. And at that point, recon substantive will determine how to spend the money. That is where you have to push as a Purple Hawk to ensure that the senators who have asked for a stimulus check, the House bill that has asked for a stimulus check, AOC and Omar that have asked for a stimulus check, the Ways and Means have asked for a stimulus check, and the 2.8 million Americans who have asked for a stimulus check, you need to push Purple Power with seats for stimulus to ensure that they do exactly what they've pushed and promised for. There's 6 House seats up for grabs in the fall election. It's in November. They're already campaigning. So you need to push Purple Power to ensure that they keep those stimulus items the right way in the stimulus package. Finally, it's important to note that with the recon procedural vote going to be passed in just a few days on, I believe it's August 23rd, then away we go. But you have to remember that the president said he needs 2 bodies of law on his table. He says, on my desk in the White House, I must have roads and bridges, and I must have recon both passed in my hand. If you're a Purple Hawk, then you're going to be ready to pounce. Let's recap. 2 bodies of law. Roads and bridges, not your money. But it has to pass at the same time because the president says, I need both of them. Recon, your money. $3.5 trillion. The price tag is going to be agreed upon. It's a done deal because they've already agreed upon it. They just have to call the vote on something they've already agreed upon. And that vote will be as early as August 23rd, which I guess is about almost 5 days away, 6 days away. So that's going to be an easy breezy step. Then they call the vote on the recon substantive. In it, the $3.5 trillion price tag is absolutely incredible because the prior stimulus packages were this big. This one is this big. And while prior stimulus packages were predominantly all application-based, like PEBT, you had to pick up the phone and call to increase your SNAP because the kid had stayed home from school, or paid sick leave, or any of these other items like PPP or PUA or EIDL or whether you're an employee or not, you had to always pick up the phone or go to a website to apply. Most of the items under this $3.5 trillion will be application-based. And if you've gotten one item application-based from this channel over the last year, you are going to be in a perfect position to pounce because you did it once, you can do it again. Now in the next few days, you can pounce. If you've never gotten SNAP, you can pounce, get some SNAP today. And if you get $100 paid for your utility bill or water bill in the next 24, 48 hours, then you'll say, wait a second, I did this. I can do this. I can do this. I will know how to pounce under forced stimulus. Then in addition to those application-based items, there's a push underway to get stimulus checks in there as well. And you see how that things are heating up very, very quickly. It's important to know that the $3.5 trillion will be happening. It will become law. And that people who sat around sort of dancing on beautiful sets with purple donuts, waiting for donuts to be sort of, matching their lipstick, may not be in such a good situation because stimulus packages were generally always application-based. And while there's a push to get stimulus checks in there, we already know $3.5 trillion is basically a done deal with checks to the American people. That fifth stimulus then heats up in just a few days. That's going for drafting as well. And along the way, I want you part of this incredible family. So coming up later today is a new Afternoons Lalate. You're going to see a brand new Afternoons Lalate at 3 o'clock. Not the 1 o'clock show, but the 3 o'clock show. And then a brand new Evenings Lalate at 5 o'clock. Brand new. And guess what? I have about 5 success stories in the last 24 hours with big numbers. People are doing incredible jobs. If you've not sent your success story to me, send it to me on social media. I'll feature it on Evenings LA tonight. The next show coming after this is the Afternoons LLA throwback from yesterday. So it's the 1 o'clock show, but the new one is at 3 o'clock. And then tonight, sirloin and some more throwback shows. And with that, I want you part of this incredible family. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a Purple Power member so you get access to all this big money. Thank you for nearly 100 new members joining daily, because it's important for you to get the skill set to get that big money as well. Stay informed, stay focused. I'll see you next on Afternoons LA's 1 o'clock edition.